This video is spending time on drawing the human figure and just proportions and just using some cross-hatching, some shading. I'm going to be using Procreate on my iPad to demonstrate this. Let's see here. I'm going to start off with a reference photo, an image. Let's see, I'm going to start off with just the angle of the figure leaning against a metal pole. And, before I even start the figure, I'm trying to figure out, what's the overall proportion of the head to the whole body. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. So kind of average size person. Adult. This is an adult. And, I'm just going to draw an oval for the head. And I'm going to draw a curved line indicating what direction is this person looking. Okay, so person is looking to their right. I want to draw the back of the cranium. And let's see his spine. Where is the spine here? The spine is right here. Okay, and then the rib cage or the chest area. I'm just gonna block in. Here's the rib cage. Just blocking, sketching in the basic shape of the rib cage. Okay, and then how many ribs do we have? Humans, we have 24. Here we're going to draw the pelvis, and you can stick with the oval if you want. You can also do like a little butterfly shape to indicate the shape of the pelvis, and then just some stick figures indicating the bones. And this helps with like stick figures. What's the direction of the legs? Here's the patella, kneecap. Kind of replacing the simple circles we've been using. Notice the shoulder. So his shoulders are angled down towards his arms, wider shoulders. There's his top of his shoulders there. Upper arm drops. Where's the elbow? There's the elbow. He has them in his pocket of his trousers. There. Oh, that's a trick too. If you don't like drawing hands, you can just put them in, the pockets. Cover up the hands. All right, for the feet here, I'll just draw some simple lines here. All right, next I'll go ahead and put in the shape of the shoulders, the deltoid muscle. And they almost have like leaf-like shapes. And then here we have the bicep coming down. And then the outside of the upper arm curves around the supinator muscle right there. So it tapers down into the hand. Okay, and then here, leaf-like shape for the muscle attached to the elbow. And then the muscles of the leg, upper leg, quadriceps, hamstrings, calf muscle. Just the rhythm of curves to straighter lines. Curves to straighter lines. And then with just sketching a trapezoid for the foot. See, I'm using simple blocked in shapes for the shoes here. And then here, just attach the pelvis to the chest area. So I think I have the basic pose here. And go ahead and erase this a little bit. Lighten it up. Not completely, just lighten it up. Now I have a starting point to draw from. I can go in with my pen and be a little bit looser. Block in the shape of the hair. Shapes. Let's start off with shapes. Shape of the eye. I'm trying to stay very loose. I don't want to do too much detail. There's the nose. There's the mouth. There's the mentum, I believe, the chin. There's the lower jaw. Here's the neck muscles coming down. It's like a scarf coming down. There's the neck. The shoulder muscles. Let's bring them down in here. Here's like these shoulder pads, the deltoids. Oops. Oops, darn it. I need to. There we go. And here, draw the pectoral muscles. Rib cage. Or the muscles, I'm sorry, the muscles on the side of the rib cage. Six pack. We all have a six pack. Somewhere we have a six pack. Very loose. The front of the thighs are a little bit curved and rounded. The hamstrings are a little bit more angular. Alrighty, so there's another layer of drawing. Let's go ahead and even erase that a little bit more. Okay, let's zoom up again. And now let's go ahead and add some of the details of the clothes. So he has a shirt on. There we go. There's the front of the shirt. His collar. I'm trying to get the shape of the shirt. And then I'm going to bring in some of the wrinkles. Yeah, just look at the rhythm of lines and shapes indicating the area where there's tension, there's folds. What directions are those folds? Just the rhythm. And the more you study this, you start to recognize these shapes and forms around you. And let's see here, this is the belt. Okay, and then let's go even further down. This is the pocket with his hand in there. There's the cuff on the bottom. Let's see here, let's zoom in. This shoe construction, let's see here, it's following the curve. I think that's a nice study right there. Oh, let me put some wrinkles near the knee. All right, so there's one demo of a figure, and let's see, I can put a light pole behind them. And if you put some simple street lines in the background, just a few. A little bit of perspective or context for the figure. All right, so that's figure number one. Okay, so you saw how I constructed it, kind of studied it. Let's try another pose and another technique. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's erase this whole thing. All right, let's look for another figure to try out. Another standing pose. Let's see here. Let's try a seated pose this time. Okay. And again, I'm going to look at the seated pose. I'm going to draw an angle, and this angle is, this represents his upper torso to his hip, and this represents the right leg, and this represents the left leg. And let's see, I think I ran out of space for the head. Let's see here, that's the shoulder. That's the shoulder right there. This is the angle for the elbow. This is the left hand, and I can't see the other hand is behind him. And here would be the head right here. All right, so I have the basic armature for this figure, this pose. Okay, and this time let's try a different technique. Instead of being that detailed, I'm going to use a technique of kind of spiraling spirals, kind of like a tornado. And I'm going to start off, as example, on the tip of the toe here, just these small little tornadoes, and they get wider where it gets more mass, it's beefier. Um, for the leg here, I start off in the calf, it's wider, it gets wider as it moves up. And the first time you try this, it just might feel really awkward or doesn't feel very natural, but you might want to try it out. See if it works for you. Very loose style, kind of like coiled wire. There's his left foot. And as we work our way up, we get the pant leg. That's where the knee is. That's where the hand is. This is where the hip is. Even his torso, you can use that kind of tornado technique. This controlled scribbles. I can turn those scribbles sideways, different directions, until I get kind of like the silhouette of the figure. Very loose type of drawing. So we have the head, the arm, it's very loose way of drawing with scribbles. The pants coming down. Let's add a little bit more to the leg. All right, look how dark and heavy that is. And you can barely make out. It is a person. And let's see, I'm going to lighten this up. Wow, now I'm happy with this basic pose, and I can go back in with my pen and let's make it a little bit larger. There's the head. There's I can try to draw the jacket very loosely. There's the right shoulder. There's his left arm. Here's the hand. And with the hand, I'll just start off with like a box or a trapezoid. And from that trapezoid, I will draw the fingers, just block them in. Simplicity at this point. Here's the calf muscle coming through. Here's the pant leg. Here's the shoe. Just a simple shape for the shoe. I don't care about the details of the shoe. Here's the heel. See how it just narrows out. And then follow the contour. There's the knee. There's the thigh. And let's see, upper leg here. His hip. This is where the jacket falls over his hip. Comes up. All right, let's go ahead and put in, let's see, where would his eyes be here? Eyes, little nose, simple mouth. Hair. And I really care about more the pose. Okay, the pose. And let's see here. If we want, we can put in some lines of where the folds are on this pants. All right. I think that's good for the figure. And then let's he's seated on a chair, so let's try to draw the chair. And flat plane of the chair itself. Here's the contour of, oh my God, this chair is nuts. Okay. I want to give up on this chair. This chair is ridiculous. All right. So there's another figure, another technique using those kind of scribbled lines. Let's see here. Let's do a couple more. Let's go ahead and erase this one. And I'll show you another technique for drawing the figure. Okay, I need to find another reference image. Here's a good one. All right, this figure is standing with elbow resting on the other arm, and nothing super complex. Let's see. 1 second, guys. Okay, got it. All right, first I'm going to draw, this technique is going to be more geometric. I'm looking at geometric shapes, and I'm going to draw a line showing the center of his body. And this tells me this is where the figure would be. Here's, I'm going to use angles. Here's the head, the tilt of the head. Next, I'm going to look at where the shoulders are. The left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder of this figure. Okay. Let me lower that a little bit more. Next, I'm going to draw his upper arm. This is the hand, simple hand for the... So it's a very stiff looking figure. This is the left arm. This figure is almost carved out of a piece of wood block. So this is a really nice technique just to slow down and just study angles. Observation. Here's the shirt coming down. Geometry. And very stiff, almost like using a ruler. Looking for lines, angles. So this is another way to break down a figure using geometric shapes. And I pretty much use a lot of stiff lines. And so you can leave this as it is, or you can go back in. Let me lighten this up a little bit. You can go back in and put some of those contours. A bit more rounded areas, more detail. You can add a little bit more curve to the figure. There, simple shapes in straight lines, trying to figure out the geometry, the angle. And when I talk about angle, if you remember from geometry class, or if you've ever seen one of these, a compass, to figure out the angles of things, this is what I'm talking about. So uh, this angle here is 90 degrees. This is 45 degrees. This is 0 degrees. 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle, going straight up. Okay, so this figure right here is the tilt of this figure is like 80 degrees. It's leaning slightly to the left. The leg is angled in that direction. So let's see, if someone was a different angle, let's say, here's a simple someone's seated on a chair. You see this angle that we have here? This angle, that's like maybe 70 degrees. So that's a way to describe a figure or think in terms of how do I draw these lines. You can use this angle system to figure out, am I getting the right angle of this tilt, this angle of the arm, the angle of the pose. Let's see, should we do one more here? Let me look for another. Well, this one, let's try one without a reference image. Let me go ahead and erase this one. No reference image. Let's try to build it up ourselves. What is the pose? What is the pose that we want? Let's try someone maybe sitting on the floor, okay, with their legs stretched out in front of them with maybe one knee bent. Okay, so what does that look like? So let's draw the pelvis first. From the pelvis, we have the back coming up. Here's the rib cage. Here's the head. Here's the right leg coming out. And then here's the left leg coming up. There we go. And then what are we going to do with the arms? Where are we going to put the arms? So here's the shoulder. Here's the right upper shoulder. And then let's see, where do we place this? How about extended downward toward the leg? And the left hand, we can go ahead and the left arm stretching out, and then there we go. So there's our basic stick figure. And how can we refine this? Let's go ahead and lighten this up a little bit. So I have the armature. How do I build upon that? Okay, so here we have the skull, the head, there's the jaw, there's the front of the face. Keep simple shapes. Here's the neck. Here's the shoulder, tricep coming down, biceps. Here's the forearm coming down. Here's a trapezoid of the top of the hand. Let's see, here's the rib cage. Here's the back. Here's the connection, the muscles connecting to the pelvis. Here's the hamstrings coming back, and here's the calf muscles coming down, stretched. Here's the foot. Let's work on the foot a little bit later. Here's the upper leg here, curved. And here's the front of the leg. The shin's a little bit more flat, not as rounded as the calf muscle. Let's do, see, there's the pectoral muscles inserted into the left armpit. Here's the deltoid muscle. Here's the bicep muscle. Here's tricep behind it. Here's the leaf-like lower arm. Okay, and then here I'm going to have just a relaxed arm, I mean fingers. God, that's too big. You need to just make that smaller. Oh my God, that looks horrible. You know what? I'm just going to create like folded paper. There we go. Aha. Now the left leg, it's coming up. It's rounded. There's the knee. It comes down straighter. And then here's the width of the trunk of the upper leg coming up. And here's the calf muscle coming down, rounded. There's our ankle right there. But now around the ankle, we're going to draw the foot. And I'm going to draw the foot. I'm going to do the back of the foot first. Here's the back of the foot. That's part number one. Next, I'm going to do the middle of the foot. That's two. And then I'm going to finish off with, there's the big toe. 3 parts. What am I going to do with this left leg here? I mean left foot here. So here's the calf. And let's just have it pointing up. There's the back of the foot. Here's the middle of the foot. There's the arch. And here's the pinky toe. There we go. There's our imagined figure. Maybe there's sitting down somewhere on the ground, maybe at the beach. So if we put like a towel over here, there you go. And then we can put an umbrella. Let's see. Maybe let's see a horizon over here. Another beach umbrella over here. Some clouds. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. We covered different techniques, different views. By the way, I'm going to fix that foot and that leg. That foot and leg looks really bad. Wait, let me fix that right now. Oh, that was horrible. Let's see. Let's do a better job of that. Let's see. Let's bring down this. What do we want to do with that foot here? I think that's a little bit better. All right. So we covered several different ways of drawing the figure, blocking in shapes and forms, and just the rhythm of the figure, round versus a little bit straighter. The limbs, the legs, they're wider, they're closer to the torso. They taper, as they taper away, move away from the body, they become slender, more narrow. And I hope you enjoyed the different techniques and just the demonstration. So feel free to use these, use them, adapt them to your comfort level, and practice. Practice with reference images from magazines. You can find your own photographs of people. You can even pose yourself on the camera and use your own poses to start off with, whatever source you have. And then from time to time, no matter how awkward you feel, or just get into the rhythm of practicing and making mistakes and going through those motions and not treating every drawing as a very precious and important. And it's all part of the process. So building on your skills and enjoying yourself and your development and your skills that you're building up as you go along.